Hi, my name is Hong Q. I'm a PhD student at Northeastern at the Network Science Institute. And I use network science to study the spread of misinformation. My research project is to figure out who are the influencers who are spreading misinformation. And I use a epidemiological model similar to how the contact network spreads COVID, how people spread a virus, but in this case, social contagion, how social ideas spread between people and how that traverses through the population. So the R-naught gives you the probability that an outbreak will happen, so whether the idea will spread or just burn out. And if it's under 1, that means it will not actually travel very far. But in social contagion and in social networks in general, you have a lot of influencers. In other words, they are super spreaders of the idea. And the more hubs or the more super spreaders you have, the more likely the idea will spread and create an outbreak. So just by the nature and structure of this network in social media and the way things, the social networks are organized, many ideas will spread. Well, I'm trying to build an algorithm that can be applied to any topic, any time. I'm collecting data in real time as people are tweeting and capturing that data and trying to re-weight who are the most influential people as this event is unfolding. And that gives us situation awareness to the journalists and other researchers. And so the whole point of this network analysis is that we're actually refreshing the data on a weekly basis and adding people to this sample of influencers and finding them through this backwards network tracing to find the originators as well as the super spreaders. So a current project I'm working on is actually based on in Nigeria, working with fact checkers in Nigeria to analyze the election misinformation that's happening from now until April when the presidential election will happen in Nigeria. So it could be applied to anything. Yeah, this coordinated inauthentic campaigns and activities is very difficult to use just algorithms to detect. So I actually work together with journalists because it's a hybrid model. It's kind of like human intelligence, human in the loop, and they label some of these accounts as misinformation or just people who are unintentionally sharing and passing along those bad ideas. But the algorithm, once it has the label data, you can detect more accurately who are the most malicious spreaders who are weaponizing their messages on social media. And the other thing we do is we keep analyzing the person who spreads the information, and when we see people spreading only misinformation but not somewhat fact-checked, somewhat reliable, credible information, then we know that person's intentionally trying to pollute the information ecosystem. So there's algorithms and even simulations we create to see if it's possible to separate the most malicious kind of attacks on misinformation or someone else who's not in part of this inauthentic network.